So God separates he said, you take the mark. Give me the Revelation. You take the mark.
Give me Revelation 13:16, because you still on the buy, sell, trade. Let's show you what buy. You think you're talking about us going to buy a sneaker bar?
No, I'm talking about buy anything.
Let's show you what nation is controlling, buying, and selling.
That's right.
You got to understand what nation is still attached to this image.
That's right.
This America can go in anybody's house and smack them around and tell them what to do and not to do. That's the barcode of not buying and selling.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
You got to understand what nation is still attached to this image.
That's right.
This America can go in anybody's house and smack them around and tell them what to do and not to do. That's the barcode of not buying and selling. Look, Puerto Rico, they just took over Puerto Rico.
That's right.
They telling them who they can't buy with, who they can't trade with, they shut you down. They put a barcode over you can't do nothing. Right. That's why the Arabs always at war with them, listen, because they ain't not gonna let them come in their land and smack them around and tell them do what they want to do.
Right.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
I'll make a fist and squeeze the tag to the top of my skin. When I approach the device, it opens the Facebook page I set it to.
Colin Crovino has a microchip implanted in both of his hands.
Some people just look really grossed out. I put my hand up and I let them poke at it and they freak out.
Developed in the 1950s and 60s, RFID chips, short for radio frequency identification, have been used by retailers to track packages and prevent theft. Farmers use the chips to keep tabs on their livestock. Pet owners use them to identify their cats and dogs. And lately, members of the so-called body hacker movement have been implanting RFID chips under their skin, programming them to perform various tasks. Colin Crovino, a smartphone repairman in Brooklyn, New York, uses his chips to open his front door. He found them on a website called Dangerous Things that sells implant kits and offers user tips.
I came across it when I was doing research on the Samsung deadbolt that I bought. And then the first thing that I noticed was that I could get an RFID tag that would work with the deadbolt.
Crovino plans to modify one of his motorcycles next.
And I haven't decided on where I want to put the authenticator, the antenna, thinking probably down by the seat somewhere because this comes off. So I would just tap my hand on it. Then the light would come on as if I put the key in, and then I would just hit the ignition and start the vehicle.
RFID retailers estimate that between 30 and 50,000 people worldwide have chip implants in their bodies. German tech consultant Andreas Sjöström used his chip as a boarding pass on a recent flight from Stockholm to Paris, and to get into an airport VIP lounge. Skeptics say the implants raise privacy issues and worry that strangers could tap into the information on a chip without the owner's knowledge. Others say potential uses for the technology, such as keeping track of a patient with dementia, could pose ethical concerns. But Crovino and others see a future where technology and the human form will merge.
I think when it becomes more prevalent and there's a lot more things and options that you can do with this, that people will, opt in for that kind of augmented human sort of attitude. That's why I have an Android device and not an iPhone, is because I want to be able to customize everything I have, so why should I not be able to customize myself?
I can't believe he just paid with his hand. Like, you just literally put your hand up and you're good to go. Like, that's crazy.
You could actually implant an RFID NFC chip in your hand.
So take a deep breath with me and exhale.
And so I figured if I could put it in my hand, maybe I'd be able to pay for something with my hand.
That was it. Breathe.
Yeah.
Keep breathing.
How's it feel?
It
It's like pinchy. It definitely hurt like way more than they said it was going to. It looks sort of like a grain of rice or like a pill that's in my hand.
I think the idea of using a microchip implant in one's hand to be able to make a payment, I do question the mainstream application of it, but I really think there might be other ways where that might come to fruition, not necessarily through like a surgical implant, but through other kind of integrations with the body.
So once everything healed, I decided that I needed to start focusing on how to make this chip work. And I really wanted to become the first person to ever pay for a meal at a restaurant with their hand. Eventually I stumbled across a Venmo engineer who said that he could help me with my task. What they decided is that they would put my Venmo unique user ID onto my chip, which would basically make it so that any phone would recognize my hand as a Venmo app.
I'm gonna write your secret token for Venmo, and you're gonna go up there, they're gonna scan your hand, put how much we owe, that's it.
Takes a second. Here we go.
So you're good to go.
That was so sick, dude. That was sick.
Yes!
That was gnarly.
That was insane!
We actually accomplished what we set out to do, and I kind of couldn't believe that it was ever going to happen. Like, I thought I got this thing jammed in my hand for nothing. My hand is paying for everything today. And it's paying for everything today.
If the wallet is here and your phone is sort of a healthy middle ground, something like the chip felt to me like the furthest possible extreme of futuristic technology.
The challenge with mobile payments is that, especially in the US, it's so easy to use cards.
After doing this experiment, I would bet that in about 10 years, it's kind of abnormal to carry around a wallet that's just stuffed full of cash.
That's insane. Paying with the hands. What's next? Paying with the foot?